Hey there everybody, this is Sherigo. Welcome to the Rebirth 3 Final Thoughts video, and also what I'm planning to be going to do next, maybe. Not too sure about that, I'll be honest. But yeah, Rebirth 3, it was a thing. I know I said that with Conquest then, right? It was just like, yeah, it was a thing. I was like, I didn't really care much about it. And playing this game again, and I can see why a lot of people actually who had the opinions that this was probably the weakest of the three Rebirth games. Some say Rebirth 2 was because, well, the storyline's not really that great, and also Conquest ending. So why would a game be stupidly weak if it was just like the one ending that really put you off it? I mean, for me, Rebirth 2. A lot of the thing that I didn't really like about that was grinding for the endings, which was what I did with this game. Getting the endings was really easy. When I was playing this the first time, I pretty much got true end without even trying. So yeah, think of that as you will. It's like you don't need to do any grinding or anything. You just need to make sure you get the certain events done. Which is what I was doing with that playthrough. I just got a true ending all by my accident, all on accident. When I was like just probably going for one of the other endings. And normally I just like to go normal, good and true. But yeah, Rebirth 2, there was a lot of like grinding for Lily ranks and all the share grinding, and yeah, that's what really put me off Rebirth 2, and there was literally none of that in Rebirth 3. I didn't need to do any share grinding. I mean, the share system's there, but you don't actually need it for anything aside from it actually gives stats to the actual goddesses, the higher the shares are. And that's pretty much all the shares do, so it's like you don't really need to bother with shares. Which is why I'd never actually bothered to do any of the side quests, or the quests in the quest section, or turn the ones in that I actually ended up doing either by actually doing them whilst on screen, or getting all the stuff from Stella's dungeon by accident. But yeah, I quite like how they did the access to the other endings in this game. Something I say about Rebirth 1 as well, that was absolutely fine with the how to get the ending for that. But yeah, Rebirth 2 was really blah about it. And as for like the dungeons and stuff, it's pretty much any factory combat hard standard now to just like reuse assets. It's like I wasn't expecting anything special here, and well, I wasn't actually surprised when all the dungeons looked really familiar compared to along with the other two games. What really polarizes me with Rebirth 3 is the characters, the characterization of a lot of the characters in the game, which I think to a lot of people the Neptunia series really runs on its characters rather than its gameplay mechanics, its dungeons. All those a lot of people just like dismiss anyway because, you know, reused assets and all those sorts of things. But yeah, it's really also the one thing that bothered me when I was thinking about it when I was playing this the second time. Well, this playthrough is like the second time I played Rebirth 3 the entire way through, and yeah, playing it for the second time, I pretty much agree with that. The characterizations of the characters in this game are a lot rough compared to how they usually were. I mean, granted, with the probables of the Ultra Dimension versions of Noir and Vert and Blanc, who could be considered separate characters, but sometimes they could essentially be like one and the same. And Noir, the Ultra Dimension Noir was far too sudden for her own good, far too stubborn, far too bitchy, really, to put like a word onto it. Vert, I think this really kick-started the downfall of her characterization, like always wanting a sister, always trying to steal Netgear or any of the other candidates. I'm pretty sure it was this one or its original generation, its OG game, Birth3, that started this trend, because it wasn't in the previous two games, and it was only really in this one that started it all, and it's kind of gone downhill from there. And it's kind of really just like turned that into like this one-dimensional character, and she's kind of like turned into like the second worst goddess behind Noir. Yeah, Noir. I don't like Noir that much. I don't really like Tsundere archetypes in general. I'll be honest. There, I said it. You can fight me for it if you disagree. But yeah, Blank was probably the only one I probably could say really didn't change between Ultra Dimension and Hyperdimension. She was quiet, occasionally grumpy, occasionally very angry, did not like loud noises, etc., etc. I never really saw much of a change. Maybe Ultra Dimension Blank had a shorter fuse? Question mark. And I know I pretty much said this, I think it was whilst I was doing Good Ending. I was going through the final version of Good Ending when I had a little bit of rant about this, but the Planetary Goddess is kind of really got the worst end of the stick there. Neptune was incredibly callous, more than usual. Like didn't really care, even though she kind of wanted to go back to her home. But combination of her laziness and Pluty was probably cementing the fact that she was being absolutely careless, not really caring about her home dimension, to be fair, in some instances, and just on occasion shoving Netgear under the bus, especially in the chapter when Netgear actually finally came to the Ultra Dimension. I mean, it was fair that she might actually be a liability since she couldn't transform, but she's still a capable fighter. But yeah, from that point on, Netgear was just being given the shaft, given the stick, just being treated like horrible what's-it. And yeah, that wasn't really that good. Fortunately, Netgear does in fact get over it, and she's a lot better in the next game. Similar to Neptune, she actually gets better in the next game as far as her personality is concerned. She's literally back to like her Rebirth 1, Rebirth 2 like sort of persona. I think it's the outfit that does it. Let's be honest. Yeah, I like the Parker more than what the one that she has in this game. Fight me for that one as well. But yeah, Neptune really takes her laziness and just outright carelessness to like a whole new level in this game. It kind of like ruins her personality as well. I mean, yeah, sure, when the chips are down, she transforms into Purple Heart and gets the job done, which is her modus operandi. Let's be honest. She just wants to be lazy, but if like the chips are down, she'll do a job. Netgear, like I said, she gets like most of the brunt of anything bad that happens to them, aside from like somebody falling down on them. It's going to happen to Netgear, though I'm not surprised somebody probably would have fell on her at one point. That is, unless Noir was there. In that case, Noir is pretty much the landing pad of the game. And then we come to Plutia, and while they really kind of overdid like the sadistic tones of Plutia, specifically when transformed into Iris Heart, and even more specifically, I think probably starting from the end of Chapter 5 onwards, when it started leaking into the Plutia persona. I mean, yeah, there's that one time where she learned, I think it was Stress Release, the hidden event for that, where it kind of leaked through as well. But yeah, Plutia stroke Sadie's masochistic tendencies were just really over the top in a lot of cases. and I think that's probably one of the reasons why there's a lot of people do not like Plutia all that much. It's because of the writing of this game just really made her super sadistic, and I'm kind of glad that they actually did take notice of this, and in like the future games where Plutia is actually a part of. And I'm specifically talking about Bland and Neptune versus Zombies. I think she was in Cyberdimension Neptunia, Forgotten Online as an NPC, but I haven't actually got around to playing that yet. It's my list of backlog is pretty big, and I kind of need to get through it sometime in the future. But yeah, regardless of that, they kind of tone it down a lot in like future games, like specifically Bland and Neptune versus Zombies when she was a part of that. Even Super Dimension Neptune versus Sega Hard Girls, she was in that one as well, and she was toned down a lot for that, even with Iris Heart. I mean, the only times we ever see Iris Heart be almost as bad as she was in this game, there was actually a reason for that, and I'm not going to say what the reason that is because that's a spoiler for Neptune versus Sega Hard Girls. But yeah, just to be known, she did end up getting super sadistic for some reason, but like I said, I'm not telling you about that. But yeah, they improved her character in future games, but I think it's a little bit too little too late for a lot of people with regards to Plutia. But yeah, other than that, it's really just felt like the same old game that the other Rebirth games actually were, which probably could be disappointing for some, really disappointing for others. But yeah, it bodes well. It did well enough so that we could get a sequel, V2 or Victory 2. As you saw in the true end, where Quag gets captured by someone with a Neptune sounding familiar voice, who will not have any part at all in Victory 2 at all. Nope, no sorry. Cough cough. But yeah, there's that cutscene is only available once you get true end. So it kind of essentially makes the true ending canon. But the thing is, the whole portal between the two dimensions doesn't, after this game, actually doesn't get mentioned anymore. In V2 it's just like it's not there, so I'm just wondering, maybe the portal finally closed on itself? Question mark. But I was just going to say, it doesn't put into consideration why Plutia and Pishi can also be considered scouts in the V2. But they DLC for 1, and for 2 that probably also wouldn't explain the V2 characters being DLC characters in Rebirth 3. Anyway, aside from that, we had the other cutscene in True End, and I should mention that. That's actually the start of one of the New Game Plus's main attractions. I am considering going to go through any of the New Game Plus stuff. The problem being is that a lot of the New Game Plus stuff is going to involve a lot of grinding. If you want to know how bad the grinding is going to be, I'm going to have to be grinding up to max level. And with the vast majority of the characters I have, I'm literally only like 10% of the way there. Just to put it nicely. So yeah, a lot of grinding is actually going to have to happen on my half if I ever want to go through any of the New Game Plus stuff, because a lot of the New Game Plus stuff is insanely hard. So it's probably just going to be a coin flip over whether I want to do that or not. But considering I ranted about level grinding in Rebirth 2, I think the answer's sliding towards the no side of the things. But just want to let you all know it is there, and I probably am considering doing it. But yeah, that is pretty much how my opinions and stuff on Rebirth 3. Like I said, a lot of the negativities on each of the characterizations, which I think a lot of people can agree to disagree on. But yeah, as for the next playthrough I'm going to, I haven't quite decided on just yet. I'm actually going to take this upcoming next week off just to figure out something I can do, something I can record, and then start recording that as well. As for the next big RPG type game, because I've kind of been doing like one of those once a year, it's not going to be the next Neptunia game. I do want to play that first, and for one, and for the second, I'm not to decide. Basically, I'm umming and ahhing whether I want to do the original V2 or whether I want to go and do V2R. If I'm going to be doing V2R, it won't be the PC version because, from what I've been told, it's buggy as all heck. It's just generally poor, and some people have compared it to Superman 64. So yeah, that's how bad that is on the PC. So I'll probably be playing it on the PS4 if that's the case. But yeah, my next big RPG that I'm planning to do is either going to be Fairy Fencer F Advent Dark Force when that comes out on the Switch, which I'm hoping isn't that long from now, because a lot of the games I've been liking playing, like a lot of the Neptunia RPGs which I've played, I played them on portable first because I could play them whilst I was at work on my dinner break. And yeah, then I recorded them for the PC like some short time after I'd actually beaten them all. So I'm probably going to do Fairy Fencer F on the Switch and do that. My other option is Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, and that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Just have a different RPG on the on my channel, aside from just nothing but Neptunia. I'm not going to be saying it's not that I'll say no to having a Neptunia game on the channel next year. I do have access to a lot of the side games, like Neptunia Action U, Blind and Neptune vs Zombies. Probably won't be doing Neptune vs Sega High Girl since that's an RPG, and probably not Brave Hero Neptunia because I think that's a RPG as well. But yeah, like I said, I won't say no to doing another Neptunia game in the next year. But yeah, I'm now currently rambling for far too long, so I will leave you with the fact that this is the end of the Rebirth 3 playthrough. So, I love you all, and take care, and I will see you next time for whatever else I feel like playing. Take care, and ciao.